Picture this. You visit a friend, and when you walk outside and see that your car has disappeared, how would you feel? You don't know if your car has been towed or has been stolen, and now you have to pay a stupidly high fee to get your car back. Not to mention if anything happened to your car when the driver carelessly damaged it. Guess what? This just happened to me. A couple days ago, my car got towed for parking in the guest spot at the apartment for just less than an hour. For a moment, I was so mad, upset, and pissed, and almost out of control. I had never experienced something like this prior to this experience. So many thoughts going through my head. And what if? What could have? What if I just stayed at home? Then I could have avoided all of this bullshit, blah 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 blah. I couldn't understand why God let this happen to me. Then all of a sudden, I remember the concept that I talk a lot in my podcast. Everything happens for us, even when we perceive it as a bad thing. Then I thought, how could this scenario be a good thing for me? Perhaps it helped me avoid an accident which could cause more damage to my car, to my finance, and to my body. Then I couldn't do anything for months. So when I look at it this way, getting my car towed may be actually a blessing. Which one would you rather choose? Getting your car towed or getting into an accident? Let's just play this scenario for a bit. Let's say when I walked outside of the apartment and my car was still there, then I drove my car back to my place, and while I was driving, I could run into somebody. I could have gotten into a really bad accident, and that could end up even worse, right? When my car got towed, it was actually a blessing. But if you don't have the right perspective, you could easily focus on the bad thing. You could easily focus on what went wrong. Most of the time, we don't have control over how things happen to us. Life often throws curveballs when you least expect it. We can't always change external circumstances, but we can learn to have a thick skin and a calm mindset so that you can deal with life's difficulties more efficiently. I admit it was very difficult to be thankful or to focus on the good things when the incident above happened. But worrying or rushing to solve something that already happened is just a waste of time and effort. So the sooner you get to the next action, the better it is to get your life back on track. It's so tempting to focus on the past and convince yourself what could have, what should have. This thinking won't do anything good besides making you feel worse about yourself, about your decision. You are exactly where you needed to be. You make the decision because in that moment you were meant to make that decision. It couldn't happen in any other way. Even the bad decision is meant to be that way. So get rid of any what could have, what should have, what if. Any of that thinking won't do anything good. Learn to be grateful. Learn to focus on the good when things go sideways. What's the opposite of being grateful? Complaining? Ungrateful? Will complaining help you solve any problem? Most likely not. Funny how our default setting is to focus on the negativity more than the positivity. You have to realize that we're not trained to pay attention to the good. That's why negative news or social media often grab our attention more than the positive. When one small thing goes wrong, we notice instantly. However, when many small things go right, we don't pay attention. And oftentimes, if you look hard enough, there are many things that go right in your life. Life happens, and sometimes it happens more often than you want. I have to say that our happiness is so fragile. One moment, we can be very happy and joyful, but the next moment, We can be all sad, upset, and disappointed. One small incident could totally change our mood right away. But if we learn to focus on the present moment and willing to accept whatever life throws at us, then we'll have more peace and calmness. It'll never be easy to be thankful when bad things happen, but with consistent practice, it will become easier over time. Being grateful doesn't mean you ignore the bad stuff, but it simply means you're brave enough to decide to appreciate life even when it doesn't go the way you expected. If you remember anything from this episode, remember that it's all about perspective. Welcome both good and bad. We're just guests on this planet, and life is too short to worry about the small stuff. So focus on what matters. Hey, thank you for listening to my podcast. I know there's so many good ones out there, and you decide to choose to listen to mine. I don't take this for granted at all. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. And don't forget to leave your boy good ratings and reviews. And until next time, always be your badass, fearless warrior.